Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and this is a unique multi-tool that's in Kickstarter from TACRAY right now. This is the MT1. First of all, it is a unibody multi-tool. It's got two blades, flashlight, glass breaker, pocket clip, and USB-C charging up here. So let's take a closer look at it, but I want to show you why I'm excited about it. And that's because I've been carrying this little guy for a while. This is a little TACRAY multi-tool VG10 blade, seatbelt cutter, whistle. Just a gorgeous little tool. If you pop either one of these out, you do get that liner lock right there, so you can trust it's not going to close. Simple, small. I really like this thing. And so this is like its big brother, but what they did is they actually added a functional flashlight. Now there have been other multi-tools that have used like little stacked watch batteries or tiny little lights. This is an actual flashlight. Now it doesn't have super high output. The flashlight is actually powered by a 250 milliamp USB-C rechargeable battery. The max output on that flashlight is 260 lumens. You get about 30 minutes of runtime. Remember, this is a multi-tool. 45 minutes of runtime on the middle brightness, which is 150 lumens, and then you can get a 2-hour brightness off the 25 lumens. I'll turn it on in a moment. The glass breaker is also the tie down for the reversible pocket clip. Now you might be wondering what it's made of. Well, there are a couple of different versions of it. These two have an aluminum unibody. And then there is also a full titanium version as well. The blades, let's take a look at this. The first blade, and remember both these have liner locks, so they're pretty solid lockup. This is about a 5 centimeter 2-inch first Tonto blade. Very useful blade because you got a functional kind of scraper up front plus sharp corners. So it's a multi-tool. You know, you're not out gutting deer with these or trying to build shelters in the backcountry. This is something, and I've carried this for a while and found it actually very handy. But anyway, that's the blade side. The blade material in this case is CVG 10 or 10CR 15 MOV. Kind of depends on which country you're identifying the blade in. TACRAY is out of China. I have other TACRAY knives I absolutely love. This little slim titanium handled folder with a really unique angular blade, and that's a laminate steel, is just outstanding. Just a wonderful blade. This is another one. This is running a very thick, also laminate blade in these wild kind of jungle green G10 scales with inset liners. They're just doing good stuff, really good stuff. It feels like custom knife work. So when you take a close look at this, it's elegant, very good. And this is like a prototype. This is I assume a pre-production because they're going on the Kickstarter. They're ironing things out. Anyway, so on the functional blade is what they call this. What do we have? We've got a can or a bottle opener here, and it does work. I had to test it a bunch of times just to make sure. Seatbelt cutter right here, paracord cord cutter, things like that. On the front end, this is actually a can opener, a la the old Swiss Army knife ones. And if you don't know how to use one of these, you should master that technique. I think it was the old, I can't remember the number. Somebody throw it in the comments. The old P something military can openers. If you didn't know how to use one of those, you should learn. Real simple operation. A lot of people had them on Swiss Army knives and didn't know how they work. They are very effective, and I have opened many cans of food in the backcountry with this design. But anyway, basically you're just going to hook it on the edge, and you're going to pierce the can with this little point here, and then you're going to slowly move around the can. It's not a fast operation with a small can opener like this. And then of course you can use this as a screwdriver for whatever it fits into, and obviously that's a solid piece of steel here, so you can get some pry bar activity going on as well. So that's what's happening here. It's basically like a stripped down multi-tool, no pliers, but instead a flashlight. And in all honesty, having a multi-tool with a flashlight on it kind of simplifies things. This would be great in your vehicle, or if that one, that one thing you want to carry when you're out and about. There you go. Prices on these are under $50 to over $50, kind of depends. Got the dogs wild upstairs, but anyway, pretty solid design. Very clever. I'm glad they're doing it. So on the light here, push the button and hold it to turn it on, and then just toggle through the different brightnesses. This is what the beam spread looks like here. You can see there is definitely a bit of a hot spot. That's actually something you would want in a light like this, because otherwise, if you have a phone, the iPhones or other phones, they do produce some light. Not very much, though, and it falls off rapidly. You could not run through a forest with an iPhone. What you could do is read a map. Find your keys after you dropped them maybe. But instead, something like this is a real functional flashlight. So in one tool, you've got a knife, you've got a handful of kind of utility features here, and you've got a flashlight, excuse me, and you've got a functional glass breaker. So there you go. I've got links below to the Kickstarter. TACRAY is just killing it, I think, in great designs, all kinds of unique things, but I can't believe the number of times I've pulled that out. This little teeny-weeny knife here, or the cutter on this little titanium thing. I'll put a link to this too, in case you haven't seen one of these. Sweet little design. So they're really innovating, and this is their next project, the MT1, or Multi-Tool 1. Let me know your thoughts. And with that, Doc out.